You know that feeling when you check your bank account at the end of the month and think, where did it all go? You didn't buy anything big. No vacation, no new laptop, maybe a few dinners out, some coffee, a couple of things from Amazon you can't even remember ordering. But somehow, $2,000 just disappeared. I used to think I was pretty good with money. I had a budget, I knew my rent, I tracked my subscriptions, but I kept ending every month with way less than I expected. So I did something most people never do. I tracked every single purchase I made for 90 days. Not just the big stuff, everything. Every coffee, every snack, every random $7 thing I didn't think twice about. And what I found honestly changed the way I see money.
Let me paint you a picture. This is based on a real person I know. We'll call him Ryan. 29 years old, works in marketing in Denver, makes about $65,000 a year, which sounds decent, right? After taxes, health insurance, and his 401k contribution, he takes home around $3,800 a month. Here's where it goes. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment, $1,400. Car payment on a used SUV he bought 2 years ago, $420. Insurance, gas, parking, another $280. Student loan payment, $310. Utilities, phone, internet, $200. Gym membership, $50. That's $2,660 right there. He's got about $1,140 left. Not bad, theoretically. That should cover food, going out, savings, everything else. But here's the thing. By the end of most months, Ryan has maybe $150 left, sometimes less, and he's not living recklessly. He's not going to clubs every weekend or buying designer clothes. He just lives. So where does that extra $1,000 go?
The experiment. That's what I wanted to find out for myself. I started tracking everything on January 1st. I used a simple notes app. Every time I spent money, I wrote it down. The amount, what it was for. That's it. Week 1 was humbling. $4.50 for coffee on the way to work. Forgot my lunch, so $12 for a burrito. Needed phone charger, $18 at the drugstore. Beers with a friend after work, $30. Ordered Thai food because I didn't feel like cooking, $22 with tip and delivery. By day 7, I'd spent $310 on things I genuinely didn't think about. And here's what really got me. I couldn't even remember half of it. The burrito? Forgotten. The phone charger? I already had 2 at home. The Thai food? I had groceries in the fridge. None of it felt like spending. It felt like existing, like normal life. But when I added it all up at the end of 30 days, I had spent $1,140 on what I would have called small stuff. Coffees, lunches, Ubers, drinks, takeout, stuff from Amazon, a book I haven't read, a streaming service I forgot I signed up for. Over $1,000 on nothing I could point to. And that's when it clicked.
The psychology. We don't think about small purchases the same way we think about big ones. If someone asks you to spend $1,200 on something, you pause, you think about it, you compare options, you might even sleep on it. But $6, $12, $25? That doesn't even register as a decision. It's under what researchers call the pain threshold, the point where spending money actually feels like losing something. It's why you'll agonize over a $400 laptop, but won't blink at $400 dinners in a month. Same money, completely different emotional response. And companies know this. It's why everything is $4.99 instead of $5. It's why subscriptions are $9.99 a month instead of $120 a year. It's why food delivery apps make ordering feel like 2 taps and a smile. The easier it is, the less it hurts, the more you spend. But here's the part that really matters. These purchases don't just disappear. They accumulate. $8 here, $15 there, $35 on Friday night. By themselves, they're harmless. Together, they quietly shape your entire financial reality. Ryan, the guy I mentioned earlier, he wasn't failing because he was bad with money. He was failing because he never saw the pattern. He thought in transactions, not systems.
The long-term cost. Let's do the math. If you spend an extra $1,000 a month on unconscious purchases, and that's not extreme, that's pretty average for someone earning $50K to $80K in a Western city, that's $12,000 a year. Now, you could save that or invest it, but let's just talk about what it costs you not to. $12,000 a year over 10 years is $120,000. That's not including any interest or investment growth, just the cash. That's a down payment on a house in many U.S. cities. That's financial breathing room. That's the difference between living paycheck to paycheck at 35 and having options. But because it happens $5, $10, $20 at a time, it never feels like a decision. It just feels like life. And that's the trap. You're not making one bad choice. You're making 100 tiny invisible ones. And the cost only shows up later, when you're 33 and wondering why you still feel broke, even though you make more than you did at 25.
The shift. So here's what changed for me. I'm not saying I stopped spending on small things. I didn't become some extreme minimalist eating rice and beans in a dark room. But I became aware, and awareness changes behavior. Now, before I buy something under $20, I pause for 5 seconds, not to judge myself, just to notice. Do I actually want this, or am I just bored? Is this solving a problem or creating a habit? Most of the time I still buy it, but sometimes, maybe 30% of the time, I don't, and that's enough. I also started using cash for discretionary spending, $200 a week. When it's gone, it's gone. Sounds old-fashioned, but it works. You feel money leaving your hand in a way you never do with a card. The result? After 90 days, I was spending about $600 a month on those small purchases instead of $1,100. Same life, same happiness, but $500 a month back in my account. That's $6,000 a year I wasn't even missing.
Here's the thing nobody tells you about personal finance. It's not really about budgets or apps or strategies. It's about seeing the system you're inside of. You live in an economy designed to make spending feel effortless and saving feel hard. Every interface, every app, every store layout is built to lower your resistance. And you can't fight that with willpower. You fight it with awareness. You don't have to track every purchase for 90 days like I did, but maybe try it for 1 week, just one. Write it all down. See where it actually goes. You might be surprised. And if this made you think a little differently about your own spending, consider subscribing. I make videos like this every week. No hype, no tricks, just honest breakdowns of how money actually works.
Thanks for watching!